Hi, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakah Kodash, and of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and our elders that rule well at Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim preaching this word in all truth and sincerity. Shalom to you few sisters out there, and men and children that believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. Okay? But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth light to them that have it. You see, so wisdom is a principal thing. All right? The scriptures say that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is his treasure. You see? But it does say that money as well is a defense. And we can see by what's going on in the market that the money is going to shit. All right, you look at this, the market, okay, and then Bitcoin, it's not as high as it used to be. And Bitcoin and these other cryptocurrencies, they're crumbling. Okay, you can see the markets, S&P 500, Nasdaq, the Dow, it's all down. Okay, because eventually this system and the way currency is traded and whatnot, is going to crash. Okay, and what's going to be left is, of course, there's always going to be a value on physical assets, actual currencies, but the way things are going to be traded is completely digitally. All right, when you go to deal with this system, okay, you're going to need to be microchipped. Now, before, the microchipping happens, the mark of the beast, everything's going to go full on digital. Okay, it's what we've been warning about. All right. Now, you see gold and silver, those precious metals, the value of them has fell drastically over the records they broke not too long ago. Now, if you still have gold and silver and you were building a so-called physical portfolio, okay, stacking these things prior to 2024, prior to 2015, okay, prior to, when the Crown Royale came. Hey, man, and you invested and bought quite a bit of it, okay, you're still up, even though gold and silver has fell, gold falling $500,000 almost, and silver falling roughly, I would say a little less than double than what it's currently sitting at. But you know what? Nevertheless, you still made some money on it. And having those things, not getting rid of them is a defense. Okay, but the principal thing is wisdom. All right, that's what's going to deliver us. Okay, not this physical money. But nevertheless, it is a defense. And it'll always hold a value. So even when, everything goes digital, all right, and you're going to need the mark to buy and sell, it's possible, like the Apostle Tahar went into a few times, there's going to be underground markets. Okay, there's going to be trade still taking place outside of that digital, system. Okay, There's still going to be people accepting these things and trading these things, you know? So it's not unwise to have these metals, had to have invested in these metals, but they are not going to deliver you. Okay. They can get you out of a situation, make things easier for you. Okay. But the principal thing, once again, is wisdom. This is Ezekiel 7:19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Slakia, their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You see? So we're not going around and, rebuking brothers to invest in precious metals or gold and silver. But if you did, if you were, okay, from when it was $15, $20, $30 a troy ounce for silver, and when gold was way below what it is now, 2,000, 2,300. If you had it like that, there's nothing wrong with investing, because like I just proved that today the value is still up there, and it can still be have its benefit, but wisdom, wisdom is ultimately what's going to deliver us, man. Okay, it says they shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. And what's getting ready to hit the fan, man, is, World War III, a total collapse of this market, which is going to usher in the charagma. And then these nations are going to go to war over control of that system, man. And ultimately seeing America and Israel, as they are seeing them now, as the main, reason for things just becoming totally chaotic. Okay. And who's at the bottom of this? Who's really dictating what's going on is a so-called Jew. Okay, you remember Ammon, the damn Agagite, during the Persian Empire, was accusing us Israelites as the reason why there could never be world peace and peace between the nations. Okay. And he deceived the Persians, and the Persians found out at the end that it's really the so-called Jew. Okay. They were looking into the history and seeing that, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's chosen people live by most just laws. So the world once again is going to see that the so-called Jew, the Edomites, are bad for world peace. Okay? Because it's all jacked up. It was never supposed to be a perpetual kingdom for Esau or any other nation besides Israel. And they're going to go to war, and the Lord's going to return and destroy them. But you get the point that we need wisdom. Wisdom is what's going to deliver us. Now, if you had invested in, even the digital currencies, the cryptocurrencies, but it's all going to go to poop. Okay? It's all going to go to poop, and there will be trades going on here and there, but it's not going to deliver you. All right? it might help brothers out in that time. And, as we're approaching, okay, the end of this, economic system, the price going to shoot up, going to see maybe $10,000 gold, $200 silver. All right. And the prices of food go up. Okay. And these things rise. And it could be a defense. Okay. Nothing wrong with purchasing it. Right now, I wouldn't, right now, I wouldn't advise any brothers to purchase, any of those precious metals, because it's a lot of money now. But if you were buying it 10, 15 years ago, you were wise, man, for doing such things. All right, but we're going to be delivered for having faith in the Lord. And that's all we need is wisdom and faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That's it. All right, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai going to do the rest and deliver us out of this madhouse. So with that, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Hashem Harakakodash. And of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and elders that were well at Great Millstone. Shalom.